We start off giving blessings, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever, man. Shabbat Shalom. Kal Halal Ha'abah. All praises to the Father, man. We got to give thanks to the Father for us, man, being able to wake up in these days, man. He allowing us to be able to wake up, chosen a certain special, in particular individuals out here, man. In other words, man, we ain't the average package. Man, we the cream of the crop. That's the reason why we have taken this extensive training to conduct a planetary system that'll be ran by the so-called black man.
That's right.
That's right. Got to thank the Father for those type of gifts, man. There's going to be an everlasting kingdom. It's going to be done with everlasting people. You feel me? Excuse me. My bad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We jam out here. Cause we from the West Coast. you know, you have to just go ahead and get used to our style. Excuse me. Okay. So first, we're gonna start off with Matthew 19 and 28, like we said earlier, right? Matthew, it was Matthew 19 and 28. I said that, right? All right. How does it go? Oh. Okay. It said, we're going to start at where it says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have? And Yahushua said unto him, Verily I say unto you, when the Son of Man shall sit in the seat of his majesty, you which follow me in the second generation shall sit also upon 12 seats and judge the 12 tribes of Israel. That generation right here that you're seeing, man, is the generation of this kingdom, man. These same brothers also, these brothers went into that generation of that dark age or that middle age also, man. All right. So he just now prophesied to these brothers that they are going to be in the dark ages, in the regeneration of the kingdom. He said, You which follow me in the second generation shall sit upon 12 seats and judge the 12 tribes of Israel. And whosoever forsakes houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, the same shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Man, if you're not able to forsake your life, if you're not able to forsake those bonds, forsake that hold that these people will have, this influence. And what I mean by that, it would be like playing out and when somebody will say, hey, don't go out with your friends on a Shabbat. Just lay up in the house with me. You got to know how to forsake that. Oh, he said, Nasty Goon said, what happened to what's his name? Oh, what happened to what's his name? Aharon? Aharon did not forsake his mother. He did not forsake his brethren, his sisters.
That's
for
right.
the sake of Yahushua HaMashiach. And he got his feelings touched when it came down to us identifying the so-called black man from the Israelite, because he wanted to lay around with Mexicans. That's what it really comes down to. So it is what it is.
That's right.
That's just what it is. That's why these scriptures be fulfilled. You know? Because a lot of these cats that are first, man, they actually are just last. Yeah, it's a shame, man. You know, you never know. The brother might end up getting punished by the Most High Power and coming back around. But if not, then we know what's really up. It's a shame to know that the Most High don't punish you when you commit sin. That's something where you got to worry about.
That's right.
But I know that things, you know what I'm saying? Things ain't got to be the way that the way it panned out if the person wasn't dealing so much with their feelings. But at the end of the day, it's they which follow Yahushua HaMashiach. Those are the ones that's going to be sitting. Those are the ones that gets the reward. You gotta be willing to look at your mother, and when they say, "Hey man, whoop-de-whoop, your mother's outside," you be like, "What?" Tell that woman that I'm with my mother, my brothers and my sisters. Because they do the will of the Father. They hear the commandments and they do them. These are the real dealers. What do you say? So we can go to Titus 3 and 5 for that precept for this. All right. Is that, but after that, the kindness and love of our Savior, Allahayim, to manward appeared, not of the deed of righteousness, which we wrought or worked up, but of his mercy he saved us. But of his mercy he saved us by the fountain of the new birth and with the renewing of the Ruach Kadash. You know what I'm saying? And that's some truth talk right there with that. You know? With that being said, you see it and you say, hey, we didn't actually, you know what I'm saying, even know these laws, statutes, and commandments. We didn't know anything about the Most High Power. For the Most High Power to sit around here and give us the opportunity to find out about who we were. Find out about who we supposed to be. Find out why we're going through what we go through now. That comes, man, that comes from the Most High Power. And that was right there was actually some mercy. Because we was lost in the sauce. We the type of people that a heavenly God, almighty power, righteous king, probably wouldn't have been seen anywhere near a person like us. But he still allowed us in these last days. He allowed us in these times when everything is working against us. But there's a reason why to that. You know?
Con.
Because right here, by the fountain of the new birth, and with the renewing of the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit, which he shed on us abundantly through Yahushua HaMashiach, our Savior, that we once justified by his grace, or that we once are justified by his grace, should be heirs of eternal life through hope. This is a true saying. Of these things I would thou should certify, that they which believe the Most High might be diligent to go forward in good works. These things are good and profitable unto men. Foolish questions and genealogies and brawling and strife about the law avoid, for they are unprofitable and superfluous. A man that is given to heresy after the first and second admonition avoid, remembering that he that is such is perverted and sins, even damned by his own judgment. And that's some real talk right there too. I just read on, you know what I'm saying, because I just think that Paul's words are just hella powerful, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to stop up there where it says that we should be heirs of eternal life, or heirs of perpetual life. When you believe in Yahushua HaMashiach, these brothers back then, when they believed in Yahushua, oh, how can you join? Oh, just hit that link right here. Hold on.
When you get to heaven, me, I'm working on my walk.
Let me send out that link.
We separated from his laws when they supposed to be blessed.
When these guys back then was believing on that gospel, just hit that link, press that button, that blue little lines right there, the blue letters. But when them brothers heard that, man, them brothers, they actually started actually walking after Yahushua HaMashiach. Them brothers obtained life, man.
Con.
You know,
Con.
not only in a spiritual sense, but in a literal.
Con.
These brothers turned into individuals that was going to be showing up perpetually.
Con.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can. No, I can't share my screen.
Get to really know the man. They ignore him and they dodge him, but they call him when they need him. Now he all that and he awesome, but when the law come, they leave him. I can't sit and let you cross him without talking.
Ramadan. It's going down with it, man.
Long.
I'm just there.
Maranatha, man. What's up with it, man?
What's up?
For you, Mark?
We're here for y'all too.
Yeah, man. We over here talking about, you know, the resurrection. We all know that we got to explain what's going on, why the so-called black man been going through the same thing over and over and over, but we supposed to be having a just God that everybody believes. Everybody believes that God is just, he's fair, but it wouldn't be fair for somebody that ain't never even been here before to be going through the conditions that we going through. The only thing that would explain this is that this is a living hell. This is hell. And you keep coming back in hell. Because hell is a kingdom.
Right.
We're going to go to Wisdom of Solomon real quick. Because hell is a kingdom. Watch this. We're going to go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1. Let me get that. Hold on a second. All right.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I miss y'all.
You too, man.
Miss you too.
Well,
I
well,
didn't move. I didn't move out to Bakersfield.
you moved out of Bakersfield?
Yes,
Yeah.
North Dakota.
Woo.
Damn. Wow, man. That's real far, man. What happened? Like family or something?
Yep, my daughter.
Oh, con. Dang. That's crazy, man. So you ain't coming back?
I'll probably come out there and visit for the summer.
Oh, you gone. You moved.
You think you ballin'? If
Yep.
you put your soul on the line, then how much you Dang. costin'? We read
Yeah,
in
that's pretty
between the
heavy.
lines, we moving with caution.
Yeah, it's getting.
I'm
It's
still
getting.
looking online. I'm still sitting here
Yeah,
watching
you
y'all
still get.
stuff.
But now I'm all in.
That's why it's the
I had to
World
get right.
Wide Web, man. We all connected. We still
I had
connected,
to get
man.
right.
Yeah, that's how it works,
I had
man.
to get
It
right.
says gather yourself together, O nation that's
I
not
had to get
desired.
right.
Only way that we can do that now,
What is you
as
talking
far
about?
as we've been
I'm
actually
bugging.
spread out,
Did I not spread repentance when that's all I talk
shit,
about?
it's through the
I ain't
internet.
frontin'. I refuse to live a lie. I'm
It's the
living
only
my
way that you can
story.
do it.
And I love it. I had to
All right,
prioritize for
Yep.
me to
we're
be
gonna
sorted
we're gonna
out.
start at
Cause I wasn't getting me tight. I should have
Wisdom
made
of
that drop
Solomon.
in his
Watch
sleeve.
this one.
I was busy
We're
chasing
gonna find
petty.
out
I
that we in the
realized what
kingdom
was
of
the
hell.
least. I had to step up my energy,
He
so I
said,
started
"Oh,
searching for keys.
Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 12." He says,
And
"Oh,
this is
seek
all
not
because
your
of the
own
black in my
death
feet.
in the
They
error of
tell me
your
that
life.
money don't tempt me. Word of mother, that
Don't
don't have a
cause
person.
your own
What men chasing, they
problems
gon' have to
upon
catch 'em.
yourself,
It's amazing
and
how much we
destroy
be
not
stressing over
yourself
nonsense that don't
through the
equate
works
to a
of your
blessing.
own
We
hands,
routing, we changing
because the
directions.
Most
We'll be
High has
fine if
not
God
made death.
permit it.
So
I got bars that can
don't
finish
put
my
it on
sentence.
on the
Late in the
Most High.
year, they read through my
He ain't the
lyrics.
one
They
that
just love the
causing
name,
you
no
to die.
contradiction.
He ain't the one that's
Watch
causing
two
you
pop. We both got similar
to have
stories,
all
so
the
they got to fill
issues
it up
that you deal
all
with.
in. If you put your soul on the line, then
It's
how
the
much you
works of your own
costing?
hands.
We read in between the lines, we moving with
It's the
caution.
errors of your own life.
Everywhere we go, we shine, we light
He
up.
said, neither has
Yeah,
he
I thought you
pleasure
was
in the
always,
destruction
but
of the
now I'm
living.
all
He don't
in.
have pleasure,
I had to get right. Hey,
and
hey, yeah, I had
he
to
doesn't
get
have
right.
pleasure
Hey,
in destroying
hey,
people.
yeah, hey,
He's
I
not.
had
He's
to
not
get
sitting
right.
there saying, "I'm going to make people.
Huh, yeah, I had to get
I'm
right.
just going to make this black guy just so I
Respect
can
God.
just
As I'm
screw him
writing, I write
around."
by Colossians. No, I do not eat shrimp, neither lobster.
Like,
Cause
nah,
I
man.
live by the
There's
law
something
and the
going on.
prophets. What you thought this was regular gospel? This not checkers, don't put me in boxes. They
He
used to
says,
use me for
"For
the
he
profit.
created all
You
things
heard that
that
when I get out
they
my
might
pocket. Something
have
my
their
grandma said when
being.
I jotted. This a
Yeah,
movement and they
all the
cannot stop
people
it.
of the
No
earth
disrespect to
has
the
he
people
made
that got
that
it.
they should
Raven and
have
healing, I'm
health,
getting off topic. Humble talking and
that
talking
there
like
should
gossip.
be
So I
no
put it on wax and
destruction
yak. The most I he
in
gave me a
them,
K like karate.
and that
Holy
the
Spirit gave
kingdom
me
of
through my
hell,
body. And the angels
the
control the
what?
reality.
The
And
Something
that
kingdom
I
the
of
know about
kingdom
me
hell.
and
of
Yachty. The
hell
most he gave is his son is
should
a
not
prophet. He
be
got the keys
upon
and he gave
earth,
me a copy. So I'm dropping that
because
weight like Takashi.
righteousness is
I'ma say I was
everlasting
fire. Hope I
and
listen with the chest protect
immortal.
cause I ride with my Akis.
See
Nigga,
that?
don't fake it. We move
Come.
like a posse. Knowing me every night,
So
we ain't kamikaze. This
if
is
you
bigger than us and we know that. We stay
memorize
repentance until I'm
righteousness, or you
exhausted.
write
Plus every got me
righteousness,
feeling heroic.
which
So
is
I'm
the
trying
law,
to save
statutes,
this
and commandments on
generation.
the tables of
But
your
now we
heart,
are more than a poet. I got greatness in my spirit, and I'm
you
refusing to
have
show it. They
something
really know that I'm
inside of you.
ballin'.
You are a
Hey,
that turns
I
you
had
into
to
a
get right.
mortal thing.
Hey, yeah, I had to get
Come.
right.
You are an immortal thing.
I had to get right.
You are more immortal than that book that's been sitting
Yeah,
here
I had to get right.
standing the test of time. This book has been here for a long time, for thousands of years. So have so have each individual. You've been on earth. If you look really around, it dawned on me the other day. Like, man, this is all that it is. There ain't nothing else.
That's
There
right.
ain't no no planet to live on. There ain't no alien being coming from somewhere.
Right.
Ain't nothing else. He didn't make nothing else. Nothing else exists. Only thing that really exists is just like us and right now. Nothing else exists. The future doesn't exist. The past doesn't even exist. It's just you and right now.
That's
Nothing
right.
else.
Come.
That's dynamic. That's pandemonium, man. That'll blow you away.
Yeah.
If you were really like deep.
It's true though.
You're like, what the hell? Like, oh shit, what the hell are we doing here? Like, man, you are here for a special time. We can't even prove that any other time existed. The only thing,
That's crazy.
for real, we don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Our grandparents could have came out of a coma, out of a sleep, out of a we don't know. They could have came out of an egg. We don't know. The only thing we really know is this: you exist, and you know that you're an Israelite. Out of everything on this planet Earth, the only thing that makes sense is that this book exists, and it's been existing longer than every book, and that it's about you, and you're it. Man, that'll blow you mind. Man, that'll blow your mind away. Look, he says, and that the kingdom of hell should not be upon earth, because righteousness is everlasting and immortal, but unrighteousness brings death. Nevertheless, the ungodly calls her unto them, both with words and works. What? So people be calling death unto themselves with works, we all know. But with words too?
Yeah.
What kind of deadly words could they be talking about?
The Messiah says now what goes into your mouth that follows you what goes out.
So what is that? Are you talking about like arguments?
No, just like blasphemous words.
What are they? Blasphemous words. What if they're not being blasphemy? Is there anything else that's deadly?
Yeah, saying things. If you say something, you're speaking into existence. Like, say if you speak, about death, like, one day going into the grave, you're gonna see that.
Right. He's singing about if I die tonight, or I'm gonna kill this dude.
Right.
And this and that. I'm gonna do this with this and that. You be like, oh, okay. You bringing in death. You bringing in evil.
Like gangs and shit.
Because there's this dude. There's a perfect example. There's this rapper dude. He's been right before he died. He was talking about how he was going to die, and he ended up dying that same way. He talked about how he was going to die. The exact scene happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, gangs too.
That's because the scripture
gangs
is true, man. Yep, gangs too.
Yep,
that's right.
Yep.
They be singing about rapping and shit like, oh yeah, come to my hood, I'm gonna kill you. Like,
Yep.
Oh boy, yeah, he was talking smack. I'm about to put him in the grave.
Damn. Yep. Yeah. Next thing you know,
he does it.
That stuff will actually happen. And you like, damn. You be just thinking that this is the life that they live. You like, nah, this ain't the life you live. This is the life that you spoke up.
Yeah. Life happens in the power of the tongue.
Right. You over here bringing up these things.
Yep.
But if you have righteousness inside of you, imagine that. Imagine if you have the law, statutes, and commandments that comes, because the law, statutes, and commandments is actually the mentality of God. That's how you That's how you upload or download. That's what I'll say. That's how you download the mentality of God, is by memorizing what He gets down with and what He doesn't get down with. You know, when it pertains to us. That right there that's eternal. That's eternalness, if that's a real word. Eternalness. He says, nevertheless, the ungodly calls her unto them, both with words and works. And while they think to have a friend of her, they come to nothing. Because the ungodly that are confederate with her take her part, are confederate with her and take her part, or take part with her, are worthy of death. They are what? They are worthy of death. You know, the ungodly that is confederate with her, and those that just take part, that partake in that, man. Those people.
I just can't see why you want to die.
For real.
Because they hate themselves. They hate themselves. It's self-hate, man. That's what it comes down to. They hate themselves. They hate their brother. You know what I'm saying? If you was to love, if you love your neighbor as you love yourself, that's when you rocking with God and everything is going all good. You loving your neighbor as you love yourself. But if you in a curse and you ain't rocking with God, you're probably gonna be displaying the opposite behavior. You're gonna be hating your brother just as much as you hate yourself. That's a good word. I like that.
Yeah.
Because check it out. We know that there's some high levels of self-hate coming from our people, man. Because we can see it in our sisters. You know? Our sisters, well, we don't see it in our sisters. I'm gonna say we can get a second witness from the sisters. The first witness definitely is the gangs, how our brothers is attacking only brothers. You know what I mean? It's kind of like there's all kinds of we're like dogs loose in a dog pound, but the only dogs that's fighting each other is the pit bulls. But there's all kinds of different dogs up in here. But the only ones that's fighting is just the pit bulls are fighting the other pit bulls. The toughest, dopest dogs is just trying to eat each other. Why you got these fucking poodles? And no, real talk. Lassie dogs and collies and stuff. And that's what it really is. It's like, damn. So the brothers, we show it, and then the sisters, they display that's the second witness because of the hair thing.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't realize that they actually got very, very, very nice hair. Their hair is beautiful. You know what I mean? But the first thing they gotta do is they gotta come to terms that it's not gonna do what the white people's hair is gonna do. Once you come to terms with that, you just say, you know what? This is mine. And I'm gonna have to work this. Then you know, they get over that complex and stop trying to look like Sally and Susie and stuff. They start coming around looking like they, you know what I mean? They know they got somewhere they should be. They came from actually somewhere. They ain't just some damn Europeans crawling out of caves. Come on now.
That's right.
Get you some dreadlocks or something. You know, they can look on the line and they can see all the different styles, all the different arrangements.
Battle with the children, they know who we are. Follow your shoe,
That's right.
They ain't gotta be sitting around there going crazy on themselves, tying in other people's hair and stuff up in there, man. But I'm not trying to go too far on what the census is doing. But I'm just saying, is the self hate. That's the answer to the question. Is they hate themselves. Why do our people kill each other and eat at each other? It's because they look at themselves in the mirror and they can't stand their failures and inadequacies and staring at them in their face. But they ain't nobody but, we ain't suicidal people.
Nah.
But we probably ain't got the guts. Yeah, I said it. We probably ain't got the guts. Because black men say, I ain't trying to talk people into suicide. Please don't commit suicide. But I'm saying black people, we are known to not commit suicide. But we do think that it's a strength. We like, man, we strong and we don't do that. You like, are you? I'm like, maybe you ain't got the guts. You got to sit around here shooting each other all damn day. I think every damn thing that you do must not make sense. When you dance, you ain't making no damn sense.
Nope.
I ain't talking about I ain't saying that all black people at all times has always danced nonsensibly. But I'm gonna tell you this one: ever since we came over here, we've been dancing nonsensibly. We've been doing some damn nonsense. Shuffle footing, dandy dancing, tap dancing, moonwalking, stinking legs, and super boys, or whatever it's called, soldier boys, and all that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, a whole bunch of shit that don't make no damn sense. I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying? That's what the Edomites got us, man. They got us to where, like right now, how we sitting around here thinking and talking, that is what they don't like. Some of them
That's
can't
right.
stand to see this because we supposed to not be making sense. They're looking at us like, why the hell are these Negroes on here not coming up with some damn foolishness? Only thing on here talking about sex, superstars. These brothers doing on here reading for. Because, man, we regenerated, man. We've been here before. We're going to go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 22 real quick. Watch this. Got some more. All right, yeah. All right, watch this. Watch this. Paul about to say, I'm gonna start at, man. Let's just start at 15. Let's just start at 15 and 1, man. Let's handle that. Because we over here at One Nation, we ain't afraid to read. We're gonna read something. He says, man, listen to the brothers, man. That's how I start off. You see, brethren. When the last time somebody walked up to you and called you brethren? We don't speak like that. That's old English. Today we will say brothers. Or hey man, hey black people. Yeah. But we don't even call ourselves brothers anymore. We just be calling ourselves black people. But I was like, hey man, to the black people, as pertaining to the good news which I preached unto you, which you have also accepted, and in the which you continue.
I gave my heart to the realest.
Oh,
I had to
excuse
have
me.
me a vision. I'm on the rise with no ceilings. They say he wanted the realest. They say he wanted the realest.
Excuse me. Hold on.
They say he wanted the realest.
Yeah, man. I heard that song yesterday. Anyway, he said, which I preached unto you, which you have also accepted, and in the which you continue. So you got to ask yourself, do you accept that Yahushua Hamashiach is the actual son of the Most High Power? You're like, yeah. You're like, do you accept that you are an Israelite? You're related to the son of the Most High Power? Because he came through the lineage of David? Like, yeah. All right. This message is to you. He said, and in the which you continue, by the which you also you are saved. I do you to know after what manner I preach unto you, if you keep it, except you have believed in vain. So you got to keep the manner. What the hell's going on with my pen? Yeah. All right, and what you see that? That after what manner I preached unto you, not the way that he preached, but the manner that he did preach. Real talk. He preached all kind of manners. Can't write nobody a letter. And then had that letter be applicable for thousands of years later. When I didn't see any manner, but I got to read the manner. That's simple. He said, after what manner I preached unto you, if you keep it. So it's conditional. Except you believe for no reason. So that goes up to that brother that went off and didn't forsake his mother. And he ended up forsaking the congregation instead. So at the end of the day, he says if they don't even keep that manner, they believed it for no reason in the first place. He said, for first of all, I delivered unto you that which I received, how that Hamashiach died for our sins, agreeing to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and he arose again the third day, according to the scriptures, and that he was seen of Cephas, or Peter, then the 12. After that, he was seen of more than 500 brethren at once, of which many remain unto this day, and many are fallen asleep. After that,
Many are falling asleep.
Yeah,
some of them, know what that means.
Some of them went back.
Yeah.
Some of them remained. Many remained, but many fell asleep. Of the 500, that after that appeared he to James, then to all the apostles, and last of all, he was seen to me as of one that was born out of due season. Because I am the least of all the apostles, which am not worthy to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the congregation of the Most High Power. Paul was over here and tripping on Yahushua Hamashiach following Israelites. Yeah. He said, but by the grace of the Most High, am I that I am. And his grace, which is in me, was not in vain. So these dudes were banging. They were doing a war. It was like a family feud, the same way we got Bloods and Crips. They were family feuding. Paul was part of one set. Just at them days, it was the right set or the wrong set.
Yeah.
But I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of the Most High, which is with me, whether it were I or they. So we preach, and so have you believed. You know?
Yeah.
He said, whether it was him or whether it was them, though. You all believe. If Hamashiach be preached, how that he rose from the dead, how say some that are among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? If there be no rising again of the dead, then is Hamashiach not risen? That's the only reason why he rose up in the first place. Not because one day there's going to be a rising, because that's the process. That's what happens. Christianity has lied to us and tried to make us seem like
he's the first one risen from the dead.
You know, but it was like this was a regeneration process that they're actually clarifying on. He said, if Hamashiach be not risen, watch, and you're going to see that this is going to be a regeneration process. He said, then is Hamashiach not risen. If Hamashiach be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also in vain. Yeah, and we are found false witnesses of the Most High, because we have testified of the Most High, how that he raised up Hamashiach, whom he raised not up. If it be so, that the dead rise not again. For if the dead rise not again, then is Hamashiach not risen again. If it be so that Hamashiach rose not, then is your faith in vain, and that you are in your sin. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So he said, you know what I'm saying?
That was deep right there.
That's real. If people deny the resurrection, the resurrecting process, then you are denying that Yahushua even did what he did. And if you deny that he did what he did, ain't no hope for you.
Yeah.
It's hopeless.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
You can't keep them.
That's what they're not gonna do.
You're not gonna wake your people, huh?
Nope.
No, nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna actually still be in your sin. The shit that you done already, you're gonna no. Man, that is you still be in your sins. How what are you gonna be able to what are you gonna be able to do to get yourself eligible to do an animal sacrifice? No, for real. With God having his back turned on me, without a mediator, and without getting back into that covenant, without any actual righteous blood. But the Most High ain't about to take some heathen's animal sacrifice. The Most High ain't gonna take some sinner's sacrifice unless he's repenting for his sins. But one of our sins is that we are the people This generation of people that we got right now is the people that actually was dissing Yahushua HaMashiach.
God.
So if you ain't got Yahushua HaMashiach, these brothers is you amongst these wicked ass brothers. There ain't no hope for you.
God.
He said, if it be so that Hamashiach rose not, then is your faith in vain. And yet you are in your sins. And for that reason, they which are fallen asleep in Hamashiach are perished. If in this life only we believe on Hamashiach, then are we all men the miserable list. You see how you notice how it said the brothers that was in Yahushua, the Mashiach, when whatever that we call quote unquote death, he called it sleep.
God.
But if they sleep and Yahushua HaMashiach did not rise, then them dudes are gone forever.
Yeah.
They're gone. They're perished. But he's saying if. That means if he's saying if, then that would mean that it's the opposite.
God, that's true.
Will have to be. The opposite will be no, they're back. They come back. That's dope.
He's basically saying this is really what it is, but this, like people who got, if Christ preached unto us, he rose from the dead. I'll say something that among you that there is no resurrection of the dead. That's what it starts. And if Christ did raise from the dead, then we all be in sin. Those that didn't, that will sleep in Christ are perished.
It says in the scripture that I think it was the Sadducees, they didn't believe in the resurrection. You know, so these people were they were dealing with lack of faith or issues about beliefs like sex and things like that. Different type of denominations like we're dealing with now. And some of these people were obviously, you know what I mean? Like basically I'm trying to say that this nation, our people at that time were dealing with resurrection issues. So Yahushua came through and cleared the whole, you know what I'm saying, whole argument up. Like boom, brother died, and boom, brother is seen right after that. They know. They're like, oh, look at his grave. Body gone. They're like, dang. That's in our face. Watch this. You say, and thereto, they which are fallen asleep in Hamashiach are perished. In this life only we believe on Hamashiach. Then are we of all men the miserable is. You know, if in this life only we believe on Hamashiach, then are we all men, then we of all men the most miserable is. But now is Hamashiach risen from the dead, and is come the first fruits of them that slept. For by a man came death, and by a man came the resurrection of the dead. For as by Adam all died, even so by Hamashiach all be made alive, and every man in his own order. The first is Hamashiach, then they that are Hamashiach's that is coming. Then comes the end, when he has delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, the Father, when he has put down all rule, authority, and power. For he must reign till he has put all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death, for he has put all things under his feet. But when he says all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted, which did put all things under him. When all things are subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things, that put things under him, that the Most High may be all in all things. Either else, what do they which are baptized? So we already know. So just to make sure we all know what he's saying. He's saying we all clear that he's saying that Yahushua Hamashiach, last thing that he was putting under him was death. And you know saying he did that so he can put everything under him first in his coming. Wait. He said, first is Christ, then they that are Christ that is coming. All right?
Yeah, come on.
The first was Yahushua Hamashiach. Then, after that, there was a coming of Yahushua Hamashiach. And we see that there was a large Christian era, the Christian era during what they call the Middle Ages, for 1,000 years. And they telling us very little to nothing much about that at all. We just know that there's a lot of black paintings and black people out there. And that black people is the ones that made all those castles. Black people made all that stuff.
Man.
They called them, the white folks, still to today, says that the barbarians made those castles.
Oh, barbarian is just somebody that don't speak that language.
Anybody that didn't speak a Greek language was considered by the so-called white man a barbarian. No talk. Watch this. He said, then shall the Son himself be subject unto him that put things under him, that the Most High may be in all things. Either else, what do they which are baptized over the dead? If the dead rise not at all, why are they then baptized over the dead? Yeah, and why stand we in jeopardy every hour, or by our rejoicing which I have in Hamashiach Yahushai, our master? I die daily. He said, he even says right here, he said, why? He said, yeah, why stand we in jeopardy every hour? You know? He said, why they baptize people of the dead if there's no resurrection?
Right. Yeah.
And why
baptizing means the washing of the word.
And why do we stand in jeopardy all the time?
Yeah.
Why is so-called black men going through the blues for 400 years. We can say the same thing.
I shut them out. I shut that down. Let it Fort Knox. This the bass drop. Yeah.
Why is every time a kingdom comes up, the Israelites is at the bottom of it? If there wasn't no resurrection. Why wouldn't we be the Israelites when there's always been the Israelites at the bottom of all the other vast kingdoms? Babylon, Israelites at the bottom. Egypt, Israelites are at the bottom. Greek, Rome. I'm like, come on now, man. What are we doing, bro? All the fucking dope and vast country that ever been on, empires that ever been on planet Earth had the Israelites at the bottom. Why would that be? It's because we've been resurrected, man. You resurrected, you coming back. Ever since we sitting there, been being disobedient to the Most High power, with those same people goes into captivity to kingdoms that don't let people go. And they'll have a lower class race there, that where everybody can kind of kick around one way or another. That's true. That's us. And it ain't just like, you know, this was your family members, your great ancestors. No, this was you. That's why we stand in jeopardy every hour.
Come on.
He said, by our rejoicing, which I have in whom Mashal Yahushai, our master, our leader, I died daily, that I have fought with beasts at Ephesus, after the manner of men. What advantages it gives me that the dead rise not again. Let us eat and drink, tomorrow we shall die. Be not deceived. Malicious speaking corrupt good manners. Awake truly out of sleep, and sin not. So when the brother goes into sleep, he be sinning. When the brother be sinning, it's because he sleep. It's just that simple. Wake up out of sleep. Wake truly out of sleep, and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of God. And speak this. I speak this to your rebuke. Paul's tripping, man. But some, man, will say, how arise the dead? With what body come they in? Thou fool, that which thou sows is not quickened, except it die. And what sowest thou? Thou sowest not the body that shall be, but bare corn. I mean, either of wheat or of some other, and gives it a body at his pleasure. To every seed, a separate body.
Damn.
See that? He ain't gonna come back using the same literal dust of your bones from, say, 2,000 years ago, Right, you come back. Like it's the same body, but it's a new body. It's the same body, but it's a different body. Same one. So every seed is separate body. All flesh is not one manner of flesh, but there is one manner of flesh of men, another manner of flesh of beasts, another manner of flesh of fishes, and another of birds. There are celestial bodies and there are bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one manner glory of the sun, and another manner glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. Where's the planets at? I don't see you mentioning it on the planets.
Uh-huh.
For one star differs from another in glory. See that? Not one planet. All looks the same. It's in different colors. Just like we were seeing on that picture.
Yeah.
On the video.
Yeah, they're all different colors. They all
different colors and shapes and all that stuff.
To make sounds.
Right. Make sounds. Vibrate sounds, all kinds of stuff, man. You got there are celestial bodies and there are terrestrial bodies. Celestial are in the air.
Yeah.
Terrestrial on the ground. He said, and the glory of the another. There is one manner glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the star. For the one star differs from another in glory. So is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption and rises in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor and rises in honor. It is sown in weakness and rises in power. It is sown a natural body and rises a spiritual body. There is a natural body, and there is a spiritual body. As it is written, the first man, Adam, made a living soul, and the last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Howbeit, that is not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and then that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthy. The second man is of the master. Huh? From the master, from heaven. As is the earthy, such are they that are earthy, and as is the heavenly, such are they that are heavenly. And as we have been and as we have borne the image of the earthy, so shall we bear the image of the heavenly. Sound like we about to be getting down. He said, at 50, this say I, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High power, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. But behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. and that in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. At the sound of the last trump, for the trump shall blow, and the dead shall rise incorruptible, and shall be changed.
Con.
For
That's what's
real.
happening. That's
What
what
we
happened
doing.
with that's what happened with us. We're dead. That trumpet blew. Now we are changing. We changed. No, not changing. We changed.
Yup.
Not of this world anymore. Man. We die daily.
Yup.
We put away all the worldly things daily.
Right.
Fight that spiritual battle and that physical battle.
That's right, because not all of us sleep. When you sleep, you sin.
Con.
Not everybody was just sitting around here just, living a crazy ass simple life. Right, went down back into that crazy life. Some people never really did nothing like that. Some people, for the most part, didn't steal. They wasn't around here cheating nobody out of nothing. Probably some good old church boys. But at the end of the day, we all been changed though. Even the ones that wasn't out there, I know that we all have sinned. But I'm saying, and some people they ain't been getting down the way that some of us been getting down. So there's gonna be some people that where you say, all right, have you ever lied? Like, yeah, I lied. Have you ever stole? Nope, I never stole before. I'm like, well, I've done that sin before. Some of us have done that. Not all of us have done it. I'll tell you this: every Israelite is gonna have something that he's gonna have to change. A lot of them, you can get them with that Christmas tree and them birthdays. Get them, get rid of all that paganism in their life. Get that border of blue on your garments. You gotta be 100%. It's just a ribbon of blue. Nobody knows what it means. If they don't read the Bible with Israelite, they don't know what you mean. They don't know what that is. They think it's part of the Trinity Bible.
They probably just think it's a regular shirt.
Huh?
I said they probably think it's like a regular shirt when you put it on.
They do. They just think it's a regular shirt. Real talk. Watch what Paul say about them. About this sounding the last trump, and how the dead shall rise incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Watch what he says. He says, because this corruptible must put on incorruptibility. The inability for someone to cause you to either inflict self-harm or harm to someone else when it comes down to the keeping of these commandments. That's corruption. Perfection or incorrupt or uncorrupted would be keeping all the commandments. And you don't have any false doctrine that is supposed to enable you to sin or justify your sins. And it's crazy that he wrote these letters, because these were just letters. These letters seem to be like deep instructions that we need to follow, and we're going to have to be have implemented in these last days, waking up our people. That's real talk. He said, for this corruptible must put on incorruptibility, and this mortal must put on immortality. So he's 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 mentioning hold on. Hold on.
The truth will free you if you let it. The truth will free you if you let it. Christ is calling the elected for the kingdom. Go and get it. The truth will free you if you let it. The truth will free you if you let it. The truth will free you if you let it. Christ is calling the elected for the kingdom. Go and get it. Ground damaging, truth landed and you scrambling. People pandering, false gods with vain babbling. Still slandering the Messiah, now you dabbling. How you managing with dumb idols that you tampering like bro sampling. Babylon, fish straddling. If that a social boat, go ahead. Safe traveling. Hosea 4 and 6 in effect. With no capping. John 8 and 32, truth will free you. Just let it happen. Guns out here clapping, brothers getting death sentence. Bringing forth the gospel and urging them to repentance. Christ coming with vengeance, ain't no running away from it.
What's up? What's up, man? Peace. What's going on? Shalom.
Shalom.
What's going on, Solar?
Peace. What's going on, King?
What's going down with you, man?
Just listening to the righteous men break down this biblical information in these latter days, brother. Very powerful information, brother.
Con. Yeah, man, we just over here just vibing out, man, just doing our thing for Shabbat. But yeah, man, this you see with this corruptible, and it said this corruptible must put on incorruptibility, and this mortal must put on immortality. The first thing that he mentions on both incidents is the primary product that you are, and then he tells you the end goal. Right now, we all know that there's corruption,
right?
And it's because we have been corrupted, and those are the areas that we got to address. Is the areas that we know that we've been corrupted in, and then the immortality. That part right there, that's the one that's okay. So we can be immortal. We all know that we can become uncorruptible. Now that we know, now that we got the internet, now that we got the resources to connect with each other. But the immortal one, that's a heavy one right there, man. They letting you know, like that's another goal that you got. There's an immortal aspect to this now. But right now you're just mortal. He said, so when this corruptible has put on incorruptibility and this mortal has put on immortality. So what would be these incorruptibilities and these immortalities?
The law says commandments.
We know. You know?
That's that life, Deuteronomy 30, man.
We know. You know? Come on now. Talk to me. Ain't it Deuteronomy 30? So when he said that when this corruptible, when this so-called black man, because we the so-called black man is the easiest corrupted people on earth. You can corrupt them easily, is what I'm trying to say. The most easiest. And I'm not saying it because of this is what I'm thinking. I'm saying this because this is what I have concluded from the evidence. Just looking back. And you be like, oh, so these people is the people that you can reboot. You know what I'm saying? These people have been rebooted and then downloaded with a bunch of somebody else's information, all kinds of stuff. And these people, since we have been so detached from who we are, we have become a people that will believe anything. And they know that. That's why we are the corruptible. That's why he says, when this corruptible. I'm saying, I know that Paul was probably just writing letters, and he was probably just trying to be lightly deep to just some people personally. Yeah, I don't know. But I'll tell you this. Today, I'm like, damn, that's really, like, that's us. And that fits real good.
That's that valley of dry bones too.
Yeah. The dead, worthless,
Con.
corrupted. He says, so when this corruptible, so-called black man, has put on incorruptibility, and this mortal black man has put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the same that is written, death is consumed into victory. Death, where is your sting? Hell, where is your victory? And we know that hell is a kingdom, according to wisdom of Solomon.
Con. Yep. It was Solomon 1.
But the first thing got to be done is a so-called black man got to get this whole process down to where it can't nobody ever come and insert their own interpolations and change our doctrine.
Con.
Insert their own interpolations and their own stupid, crazy ass conclusions that they come up with. You know?
Con.
We gotta be, it said that you gotta get this, you gotta get all this done, all inside that head. I'm not saying that you gotta be a walking whiz book, but I'm saying that you gotta know the concept. You gotta know what this book is about and what it's talking about. You gotta be able to not get knocked off your what do they call it? Knocked off your position?
Knocked off your square.
Knocked off my square. Thank you. You can't get knocked off your square. You can't. So he's saying once that actually happens, the so-called black man actually gets his mind into this book of rulership. This kingdom right here would no longer need to be in existence.
Come on. That's a fact.
Death is consumed into victory. We'll defeat this place, man. It said the Most High, He didn't make death. He's not causing us to be dying.
Yeah, He didn't cause His kingdom of hell.
You know? It's just that we put ourselves in this position, but now we got the so-called enemy, the adversary, the white. It said that they have furthered this process by causing the Most High to trip on us even more.
Come on.
So this system of death, this concept of death, in this kingdom of death, will be defeated, man.
The
Most High power will wipe it away, and we can see the beginning of it happening already.
That's a fact.
He said, the sting of death is sin. You see that? That's what I'm saying. I didn't even know it was going to say that, but that's what it said. It says the sting of death. Wait, my bad. Let me back it up. Hell, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin. And the strength of sin is the law. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You see that? People think like, oh, so that means that the law is bad? No, that means that they use it as a weapon.
Yep.
The law
against you.
They look at the law, and they say, oh, these brothers right here, they supposed to be keeping the Sabbath. They say, what? You're like,
let's make a day mandatory against that.
Right. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. That's what makes them powerful, is that they know that we supposed to keep the law.
That's that kingdom of hell right there.
The kingdom of hell.
The damn devils.
That's right, man. That's crazy, yeah.
Yep.
The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be unto the Most High, which has given us victory through our leader, Xiii Hamashiach. For that reason, my dear brethren, be ye steadfast and unmovable. Like you said, knock them off they square. Be steadfast and unmovable. He's saying the same thing that I was just saying.
Yeah.
So you can't let nobody knock you off your square, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't. This is what he's saying. He bottled it all up into this last saying, man. He said, for my reason, my dear black people, be you steadfast. You better be 100% about this movement, man. And don't let nobody knock you off your square. Always rich in the works of Yahushua Hamashiach, man. For as much as you know how that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh, man.
God.
You got to know that, man, these things that we are doing are and has yield results. Well, will and has. That's the problem. Will and has yielded results, man. This ain't no fairy tale. This ain't no book just talking about a bunch of confusing things putting jumbling together to where I can only make sense about some love stuff. This is right here is in depth. That was heavy. All right, let's go to this Ezekiel 9. What's this? We're gonna go to Ezekiel Nizity. All right.
Can I say something real quick?
He said, "Oh yeah, for sure."
Yeah, I wanted to, you was talking earlier about, the chosen people, and you was talking about how in every kingdom we tend to be at the bottom in every kingdom. And it was making me think about, how people make arguments against, the black man and the so-called black man and the so-called black woman being the children of Israel or the chosen people. And when you look at what happened historically, it's clear that we are the chosen people because we operate on a different wavelength than any other people on the planet. The way we influence, and it's so much so that it's almost like we are sort of a byword. That's what it says in that's what it says in the scriptures. We sort of like cast out when it comes to daily functions within the society. People tend to not want to rely on us when it comes to work. How people make their earnings and livings. We tend to be at the bottom, and even when we work, most of us tend to not really want to do those jobs. And it shows. Right. It shows ultimately that we have a different purpose on the planet. That we're not interested in. Doing the regular things that other people likes to do and center themselves around. So when you talk about world phenomena and things that influence the planet, it is a lot of things that the black man and the black woman does. Far as even with the communication, especially with the communication, the black man and the black woman has a message to deliver to the world. So this is why we do it. Through music, it has an impact, an influence over the world. Our dances, our songs, our lyrics, it shapes the consciousness of the planet. Even the movements that the so-called black man was involved in. They have an impact on the world. It sets the rule brick as to how to conduct oneself. And that's when we on the righteous path. But see, now the black man has been taken off of that and wants to now integrate in with the beast. So,
Right.
you know, it takes people like yourself and your nephew, Akmalak, and, you know, to wake up the masses. It's a
That's right.
very difficult time. And the level of importance has definitely multiplied, especially with this whole thing, with what they're doing, you know, with this vaccine and all this different type of stuff with the coronavirus and all the things that they're trying to implement. They're building the 5G towers right before our eyes. We're seeing a whole new civilization begin to erect, which they want to further, as what you said, keep the black man at the bottom, you know, and the others over
Right.
top of the black man. And so uh, definitely that kind of resonated when you brought it up. And it's a testament to, you know, who the true people of God is. If this is a civilization, as what you was talking about, that is created by the evil one, then of course the people of God is going to be put at the bottom. Look
Con.
who's controlled the planet.
They'll be dead.
Yeah.
If the beast controls the planet and the wicked, you know, has laid siege of the planet Earth, then of course he's going to put the children of God at the bottom.
Come.
Yeah.
You know,
And I know. That's almost like a dead giveaway, an obvious telltale sign. The children of Israel would be at the bottom. God's people, because we can all admit that it's evident that whoever is running this planet or this system is wicked as hell.
Come.
And I ain't talking about just the religious department. I'm talking about just general people. Generally speaking, just people know that the world is effed up. So if the world is being ran by the wicked, being ran by an institution of Satanists, that everybody, this is one thing that we all can agree on, whether you're religious or not. Then you know that God's people would be at the bottom if they exist. And since you look inside this book and there is a God's people in there, and then you look and see who's at the bottom, and it's the so-called black man. And I'm not just saying economically. I'm talking about there's something going on inside his mind.
Come.
To where these people are playing into it and putting in, they're investing into this man's mind to be all screwed up. It's a real sinister but obvious plot. That's why we got to get down to the bottom of what this book is trying to train us up to. It's training up your mind to be a little bit more serious and not only like militant but strategic. It makes it to where you know how to strategize, teaching you to strategize. By teaching you strategies.
Come.
Once it starts teaching you strategies, then you start grasping the strategies. You start learning how to strategize.
Come.
Next thing you know how to contemplate. Then you start figuring shit out. That's why they have Pastor Pork Chop setting up for you when you pick this book up. He diverts you from it.
Come.
While you still have it in your hand. He ain't gonna read 1 Corinthians 15:1 all the way through some 63 verses. What are you talking about? Watch this. 9:1. He says, he cried also with a loud voice in my ear, saying, come here, you rulers of the city, every man with his weapon hand to slaughter. Then came there 6 men out of the street of the upper court toward the north, every man with a weapon in his hand to the slaughter. There was one amongst them that had him a linen raiment and a writer's inkhorn by his side. Then these went in and stood beside the brazen altar and the Shekinah, or the glory of Yahweh, was gone away from the cherub and was come down to the threshold of the house. And he called the man that had the linen raiment upon him and the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Most High said unto him, go your way through the city of Jerusalem and set this mark, Tav, upon the forehead of them that mourn and are sorry for all the abominations that be done therein. And okay, so you see, so these dudes right here just received a mark because these people, they are mourning. So obviously they're not partaking. They're sorry for all the abominations that are done therein. These people are mourning. So these people didn't like the abominations that was popping off up in that place. So he says, Mark put an abomination. Mark this seal upon these cats' forehead. And right now, I see us as those same people. We are reliving that same process. We look and see, we like, damn, we ain't really feeling all this wickedness that our brothers are doing. So we go out and rebuke it. You know, we ain't feeling all this wickedness. So we go out and we let them know online, like, hey, man, that nigga is crazy, man. It's coming up with that foolishness. We doing them same things. And we receive that mark for those things. The Most High, he knows, he's noting us for these things, man. He knows all us Israelite brothers. This stuff makes a big difference between us and everybody else. Watch this big difference that he made, though. This was such a big difference just by them just for mourning and being sorry for all the abominations that be done therein. Not partaking, obviously. And to the other, he said that I might hear, go you after him through the city and slay, oversee none and spare none, kill and destroy both old men and young, maidens, children, and wives. He's talking about Israelite people. I'm about telling them to go kill. But as for those that have this mark, Tav, upon them, see that you touch them not, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the elders, which were in the temple, for he had said unto them, when you have defiled the temple and filled the court with the slain, then go your way. Then go your way forth. So they went out and slew down through the city. And when they had done the slaughter, and I yet escaped, I fell down upon my face and cried, saying, O Xiii, wilt thou then destroy all the residue of Israel in thy sore displeasure that thou hast poured upon Jerusalem? Then said he unto me, the wickedness of the house of Israel and Judah is very great, so that the land is full of blood, and the city full of unfaithfulness. For they say, tush, Yahweh regards not the earth, he sees us not, and for that reason will I come upon them. My eye shall not oversee them, neither will I spare them, but I will recompense their wickedness upon their heads. And behold, the man that had the linen raiment upon him, and the writer's inkhorn by his side, told all the matter how it happened, and said, Master, as thou hast commanded, so have I done. Okay. Let me see. You know what I'm saying?
How much white racism is there in the American people?
We living in that
Okay.
current time right now.
No, hold on. Yeah, I was looking for something. What did you say?
So we living in that time, that current time right now. You see,
Yeah.
the black man tend to be hard-headed and stiff-necked when it comes to the message of God. You got to compromise, know what it says in the Word of God, because it's a righteous teaching that's going to get us to be a spiritual
Right.
people, and a lot of people are of the world, so they're compromised
Con.
in a way. Whereas though when you present certain information to them, they tend to scoff at it because they know that if they follow this, they can't do that. See, well, one thing that the devil and his wicked system has, crafted was a system where he gives you quote unquote freedom to do whatever you want. But it's not really freedom to do whatever you want. He opened the door of sin for the black man and the black woman, and that's what he advertised to the black man and the black woman. So what he calls freedom is just a trick to get you to do or live a sinful life. So they
That's right.
allow you to be a homosexual. They allow you to go and be have all types of illicit forms of sexual activity. It's advertised to you. They allow you
That's right.
to partake in the wickedness of this world. They even promote violence amongst the black man and the black woman.
Right.
These things has been done systematically. That's why I like the music that you're playing right now, because it's coming from an Israelite, and he's teaching, telling you to be righteous. Telling you
Con.
to be righteous. The wicked system has now crafted uh, a whole network that presents on a daily basis music that brainwash the minds of the masses, brainwash the children into thinking that they have to be violent, and then they'll turn
That's
around
right.
and they'll criminalize the same children that they are indoctrinating and tell the world, look at these niggas. This is why we shoot them in the streets. Look at
That's
why
real.
they display themselves on the videos. This is why we do the things that we do to them. This is why we throw them into the prisons. So you're dealing with a evil, wicked, crafty devil.
He's
You know,
crafty. Yeah, he's very manipulative. You know? And I was showing this, I put up this scripture, is because it showed that these people right here, the Most High, he didn't kill them people. But these same people right here, of that same crowd, they got destroyed because they were wicked. It was all the same family of people. It was all the same generation. And we sitting there, we living in the same thing right now. We are here, we up under a wicked rule. But at the same time, we got a lot of betrayal amongst our own people. And I'm not talking about they betraying just us, each other. We got a lot of people that's turning away from what is good, even for themselves, just so they can justify their stance that they're trying to stay on about whatever it is that they're trying to believe in before you come and bring them the knowledge of the truth. And I'm talking about, and I ain't trying to point at my Kemetic brothers and the Egyptologist cast or whatever, Pan-Africans and all them dudes, man. But it's like, hey, man, won't you guys go ahead and let go of all that pride and that wickedness, so the so-called black man can actually rise with some type of strategy, and so we can rise with some type of structure set up instead of trying to come up with our own as we go. And then instead of them taking into that, instead, that's where that treachery comes out. That's where that betrayal comes in play. It's when them wicked ass brothers.
Chief X actually did a good presentation the other day on Sonetta's channel where he was showing how the Egyptians, they were it was a melting pot, and they used to oppress the so-called, that they call the sub-Saharan African. His argument was that, although they were from Africa, they were not like the Africans that were in West Africa, which is very interesting point because, the pictures that he was showing was them actually oppressing black people. The Egyptians were oppressing black people. So it says in the Bible that the Egyptians were oppressing the Israelites. So he actually showed different statues. They put a lot of things on their walls where they was actually oppressing a group of black people. Now they got different names as to what they classify these black people as, but I just found that to be very interesting in terms of correlating what it says biblically and what they are actually showing. What the Egyptians did, and the Egyptians, they they made a distinction between themselves and those black people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so you see that ultimately that the same system is now being used by the white man. And
Yeah.
his argument was that these people were mixed with the Western people from Western Asia. People from Western Asia is modern day Europe. They were mixing with those people, and so this whole idea where you had a lot of people suggesting that they are Kemetic and Egyptian, he was proving that to be false. That
And you
you're
busting,
not,
right.
you're not an Egyptian. You're not a person of ancient Kemet. So who are you? Who is
Right,
the
right,
black man?
right,
We're searching
right.
for the identity. Who is the black man? Because when you look around the world over, who has the identity crisis? This is how you identify the chosen people. Who has the identity crisis? We don't even know what to call ourselves.
That's
The
right.
term that is being used permanent today was given to us in the 1980s, bro.
That's right.
Everybody else names go back centuries. You know,
Dang. Yeah.
everybody else's name goes back centuries. They know who they are.
That's
How
right.
our name that we use today was just made up in the 1980s is what we call ourselves. You know,
Wow.
so
Yep.
that shows you that we have an identity crisis. That's another sign of who the chosen people are, and that's why you are chosen. You know, you have
Yeah.
been robbed of the third knowledge of self. And this is all been orchestrated and crafted, by the enemy, but on a much greater scale. It's a greater scheme that the Most High has for the actual chosen people of God, because these latter days are here today. We don't need nothing tying us back. We don't need nothing tying us down. Some things that we try to hold on to, far as from a cultural standpoint. So that in itself, in terms of the message, is a blessing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man, see, and that's a trip that you said about that Egypt, man. That kind of blew me away because there ain't nothing new under the sun. And that would make a whole lot of sense. That would make a whole lot of sense when you look at it and you see today, this place being the modern day Egypt, and it still had the same type of color oppression structure. You get what I'm saying? Still at play. So when these brothers say, well, not only did it just bust their whole Kemetic identity crisis they were going through wide open, it just proved that the Bible, saying is always true when he says ain't nothing new under the sun, man. That's heavy. I like that information. I'm gonna actually go ahead and check that out. Where was that at? That was on Solar Vision.
Sonetta.
No, that was on Sinetta channel. Chief X did a presentation.
Oh, I never heard of this dude.
Yeah.
Chief X. I'll check
That's
him
the
out.
dude that came on your channel talking about the sovereignty stuff, right?
Oh, what's happening? Claim Shalom.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Claim Shalom.
Salome Lomi.
Shalom. What's happening?
Chief X, the dude that came on your channel, right, Solo?
No. That's somebody different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like a Kemetic brother, but he came to some new information about, the Egyptians and how they were not the people today in America that calls themselves, African American.
Is that too loud? Did I turn the music up too loud?
Yeah.
I was barely hearing it, man. My bad. All right. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go.
So what were you saying, Clay? You said you came in. You asked, what are we talking about?
No.
Or you said, are we talking about something?
Nope. I didn't say nothing about that. I said that guy, Chief X. I thought that was the guy that went on Solar Channel, talking about the law and stuff. How he reads and studies the law daily and stuff.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we talking about the resurrection over here, man. Regeneration, resurrection. We actually believe over here that we about to hit immortality through these law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's gonna be the gift for this last resurrection, man.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, man. We're not gonna just keep on dying and coming back. We're gonna be sitting around lasting. I want to see that. That's what I'm aiming for, man. That stuff right there.
You think we're gonna get superpowers?
Huh?
You think we're gonna get superpowers?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that we will get superpowers.
I'll be fantasizing about that shit right there, boy.
Well, you would need. I believe that you would need superpowers to be able to instantly be able to keep up or be able to fend off any other foreign
Little weapons.
country.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If goddamn predator drone hit you with one of the missiles that right now, you probably blow up.
Right. You would need.
You can do something else though.
You would need the superpowers. It could, because if you really study their training and all their modern weaponry, as if they're going to be fighting some type of hyper soldiers or something, man. They got weaponry that just doesn't make sense. You're like, why are y'all?
Right.
Like who do you guys plan on fighting? The X-Men or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seems like. It seems like they're preparing to fight the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what the old Space Force is for. To fight.
That's what the X-Men was about, though. The X-Men was actually the way they crafted the actual series. The X-Men were actually the so-called black people. They actually oppressed them, and they knew their potential, and they was afraid of their potential, so they wanted to oppress them. And what they did was they made robots to oppress the X-Men. You know,
Damn.
those criminals. You know, so
I
what
remember
we're
that.
looking at today now, he's crafting a technological society to oppress, you know, the black man. And then you had like, you know, Xavier. And they flipped it. Like Xavier was the house nigga. He was the house nigga. He wanted to try to coexist.
Mm-hmm.
Magneto was the revolutionary. He was the revolutionary.
Yeah.
He knew that the so-called humans was in no way going to ever want to coexist
Mm-hmm.
with the mutants.
How you gonna coexist with
That's
somebody that
real.
don't want to coexist with you?
They actually get their own land, right?
No matter how much
What
you
he
try
said?
to
They get their
love
land.
them, they
He said.
still hate
Then
you.
like regular humans get mad, bro.
He
And they
said.
go
He
to
said.
destroy it.
The dude right here. He said in X-Men. He said even in the cartoon. He said they end up getting their own land.
They do.
Mm.
X-Men ended up getting their own land. And then what else happened?
The humans get mad that they left. Like, oh, you need to go get plotting.
Oh, the humans got mad that they left and then started saying that they
land.
plotting.
They get their own land. It's called Genosha.
Oh, it was called Genosha.
Right? And when they leave, they prosper. They make the boat. They make all the medicine, and humans get mad.
Oh, he said they left and they made all the medicine and everything.
Everything. They just prosper.
And they were like basically they had the kingdom. They were in the kingdom.
That's exactly what it is. Their land was called Genosha.
That goes to show you it doesn't matter what the Israelite does. They always want to have a problem with it.
Right.
When you're there, it's a problem. When you're amongst them, there's a problem. When you want to go and do your own thing, it's a problem. I was saying this before when they was like, you know, you have the white man, you know, he on the one hand, you know, tells you stop being lazy and get a job. Why don't you stop being a lazy nigga and get a job? But then he'll fight against you trying to get a job. He's the same one that's fighting against you to try to get a job. When you go to fill out the application, he's trying to give you a hard way to go. You know, you got to go through all these loops and circles just to get hired at a bullshit job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he does everything in his ability to make it hard for you to work. But then he turns around and points the same finger at you that look at these lazy niggas that, you know, don't want to work.
Bring it out, Solar Man.
So this is the wickedness, and that goes to show you the hatred that he has for the Israelite.
That's heavy, man. My bad, I had to step off. So what you talking about, Clay, man? I see that I was supposed to go to your channel a couple times, man, but each time I went over there, man, I missed it.
Yeah.
And I seen that you said and you sent something that said about the Noah's Ark. I know what you meant by that.
Yep. Yeah, we trying to.
That is not the
recruit,
truth, man.
We're trying to recruit people to identify land that we can purchase. I found some good land for $375,000. Over 150 acres for $375,000. That's crazy, super stupid low. And there's hardly any trees on that motherfucker.
There's hardly any trees. Is that what you said? Because if you talk about a place with no trees, I know a place in Africa where it's for free. Nobody has it. Anybody can go up there.
Man,
I'm telling you,
I can't get to Africa right now.
there's a country in Africa. There's a country in Africa that nobody claims.
I can't get to Africa right now.
I know, man.
Yeah, I gotta straighten out my passport shit. Like you gotta like do some.
I know. They got shit set up. Yeah, they got shit set up. But still, though, it is a thought. There's a whole country out there that nobody is using.
What country is that?
It's not. There's no name of it. It's just a spot in between. It's like it's in between Egypt and Ethiopia.
You can show me?
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I can't. I can't. I can't do a screen share. I can't do a screen share from here though. So you would have to probably pull it up on yours. But I'll look it up. But I won't be able to screen share that. I'll tell you when I find it.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about.
But
That's
yeah,
what
man.
you missed. We only had one meeting though, and they was super duper excited the first meeting, and then didn't show up for the second nor third meeting. So I don't know how real people are if they don't never go to the meetings in order to set up the situations.
Well, hey, yeah. I just found out about the name of the channel because I thought I had it, but then when I heard it, then I heard somebody told me the name. I never heard that before. I was like, I never heard that.
You talking about my channel?
Yeah,
I changed it to Word the
they called
Apostle.
it. No, it's called Club of New Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's my other channel. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but we don't air the land conversations publicly because they don't like the public conversations at all. So they're all private conversations.
Oh, I don't know, man. People getting their channels shut down and stuff for less things. I be going off over here at One Nation Set Apart. My channel never. I don't get anything pulled ever.
hmm they only do it to people that's getting attention.
Oh, I'm about to say 'cause that's suspicious to me. Then I'm like, but yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I'm glad to hear that.
anybody that's getting attention, they focus on them and then try to shut them down. Is what that's what's happening
Oh,
with the
okay.
agency.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man, we're dealing with this resurrection, man. We go to Acts 24 and 14. We can deal with it. Matter of fact, let's go to Romans 6 before you get to Acts.
The Hebrew music, man, blowing up like a motherfucker. I ain't never heard 95% of the songs that you play on over here.
Oh yeah. I got over 3,000 songs that most people ain't never heard of before in their life.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So what you just go on YouTube and type in Hebrew music and you be seeing all these people?
Yeah, it kind of starts like that. Yeah, but then you just keep on searching out,
Going down.
searching everybody that's on there that's featuring on their songs, and then you search everybody that's featuring on their song. Next thing you know, you opened up to a whole new world.
I can't wait till that shit is super valuable. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to work on. I'm working on that shit. You know what I'm saying? To get
It is
famous.
valuable. They sit
Right.
there storing up their riches in
Well,
the kingdom.
right. Well, you know how it says in Ox said, yeah, he's valuable because it's storing up the riches in the kingdom. And I'm like, Khan. And on top of that,
That's a
Joshua
fact.
1 and 8 says, you know what I mean? We need to meditate on the word day and night. You know, so then there's some times where you can't be reading, like but when you're driving down the street. You can't read the Bible. But if you was listening to this music like this, it'll keep your train of thought biblical.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So you won't, you
Mhm.
might not, you know, you might not be reading, but you still be in the word. It's beneficial.
Right.
It keeps you young, keeps you alive long, keeps cancers away, all that type of stuff, man. Like keeps evil spirits away, keeps everything on. It keeps all that stuff off. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. All right, we're gonna see this Romans 6. We start at 1. He says, "What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that there may be an abundance of grace? The Most High forbid. How shall we that are dead as touching sin?" You see this every time we seen, ever since we seen that wisdom of Solomon 1, we keep running into sin and death being synonymous. And what we call death over here in the United States, in the Western world, they call it sleep. They keep calling it sleep too.
In the wages of sin is what? Death. Sleep.
He said, remember, Salakia, how shall we say that are dead as touching sin, live any longer therein? Remember you not that all we which are baptized, and that's baptizo, not bapto, all ye that are baptizo in the manner of Yahushai, the anointed, are baptized to die with him. We are buried with him by baptism. We are buried with him when we kill the old us with that bapto, with that baptismo, I mean with the baptizo.
Yeah, which is the washing away of the word.
Right, not the bapto. Right. But with the baptizo, we kill the old man. That old person of us is dead, man. The nightclubber as on Saturday night, man, that dude don't exist no more. The street name that dude used to go by, and it actually was, you know what I mean? It was the invocation of a evil spirit. That stuff don't happen. That name doesn't get resonated around here anymore. He's dead. Watch this. He said, because to die, that likewise as Hamashiach was raised up from death by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in a new life. For if we be grafted in death like unto him, even so must we be in the resurrection. This we must remember, that our old man is crucified with him also, that the body of sin might utterly be destroyed, that from now forth we should not be servants of sin. For he that is dead is justified from sin, or excusable from sin. You get yourself out of that sin. You feel me? So there's like Paul was saying, there's a spiritual body, and then there's a physical body, or celestial and a terrestrial. Before you think that you're going to be resurrecting the body, I'm talking about in the whole, that whole spiritual body. We got to resurrect. You got to resurrect as a new person while you are still alive. To put it in a simple sense. Paul went all over, you know what I mean, to say it. and he went deep to where you can understand it in its proper dynamic. But just to sum it up, man, while you alive, man, you need to change your way completely. The whole you is gone. You got to get rid of that cat.
Con.
You like, dang. You like, you got to have a whole new conversation. You got to have a whole new get down. But no.
I know, son.
Yeah. But that's what that is right there, man. That's where we at when it comes down to this resurrection. There's not only are we come back here perpetually in that regeneration, that everlasting or perpetual life. But at the end of the day, too, man, it starts with you resurrecting your body. Start off with you resurrecting by killing the old you, getting rid of these wicked ways, man. Getting rid of these crazy ass thoughts that you have going on through your mind, and the crazy thoughts that you are polluting your brain with when you're listening to that crazy music. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get up onto some of this, Hebrew Israelite music or something. Well, I'm not even gonna say maybe, like, you should have a choice. I'm gonna give you straight a recommendation like a doctor would tell you. You need to take 24/7 or all the time that you listen to music, you need to replace it with this. All the time that you use with music and all that stuff that you do on your headphones and in your car and at your house, replace it with this stuff. That'd be a good start. So you can start thinking right. Start reading. Stop watching so much television. When you watch television, try to be up on YouTube learning. Get into some documentaries. Check the history of things. Look up the so-called motherland, what we call over here the Holy Land. You start finding out there's a whole lot more than meets the eye. There's a whole lot more than what you've been told. But one of the things that you got to actually do is not wait for the handout of the Most High Power to change you. You need to actually look at yourself and do the self-reflect. Until then, man, Maranatha, man. Shalom by Yah. Hallelujah. Oh.
Shalom by Yah.
Hey, Solar, man, you about to start something over there? Solar. All right, I don't know if you're there, man. But if you start something over there at the channel, man, we're gonna slide over there, man. Until then, man, all praises to the Most High Power, man. Shalom by Yah, man. Kahalaha Abba.
Kahalaha Abba. All praises to the Father.
Bahashan Yahushua HaMashiach, in the name of his son, Yahushua. The anointed one.
That's right.
We about to get up out of here, y'all, man. Let y'all vibe out to this jam, man. We're gonna get up out of here and go ahead and do that. And we're about to do this holy convocation, and we're gonna partay on the Shabbat. Hallelujah. Oh, Maranatha.
Party.
I gotta preach the word to your whole crew, and we just hit the man the shepherds like it's supposed to.
Pick up at a shelter.
Yeah, if I have to damn it really would. Hey, I would lay my life down for the brotherhood. From nation to plantation for our own good. For the record around here, high neighborhood. Ah, yeah, back to back, right up on track. The spirit on me got me lethal like I'm anthrax. And I'm finna praise the higher, let me state facts. The Holy Spirit on my elder like the book of Acts. Yes, chapter 2, let me be precise. A different note, the word validate one wife. I used to be a wicked brother, was a player type. Now I'm all about the business for the afterlife. Yeah, 7 people on my fitted. Like you just do it, you gon' die, you ain't with it. You can call me Peter, I'm a ride, Honda Civic. I heard that you be preaching, but I know that you don't live it. Lord, you a faker and a shapeshifter. The Bible is the power source like a transistor. Ain't 100 proof and I ain't talking liquor. Tripping the scripture, I'm a killer, no track river. Oh, take a second just to look in the sky. Ever wonder why he brought you this far? You been called by the greatest, you're an Israelite. Time to stand up for what you are. Tell me, brother, what the world gon' do? We should all come together, all in unison. What the world gon' do? Until I die, boy, I be magnified. What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified. What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified. What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified. What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified.
Look around, everybody waking up now. We up next, east side time running out. I hear you coming back in the day now. I heard he bringing that fire to the playground. Anybody can see that this world is finished. So sick of the wicked, the time is ticking. They will diminish, they will replenish. The mission we nation, better we stay fulfilling these prophecies. Look, and y'all wake up about to hit it with the God flow. People still operating with their eyes closed. You would think with all this truth they would jump on. I guess they're thinking they can make it wear blindfolds. Like Undertaker got these demons in a chokehold. I'm so cold, I draw knowledge by the boatloads. They say I got a dope flow, yeah, it's too cold. Anybody that know me, they know that I'm humble. Everybody that they got life figured out. Tell her how you come around and sit they get it down. Shouts out to my bros for putting me on. I'm geeked up, so you know I gotta show out. These days we don't need radio play. We hit the streets, we meet and read the beats. We read, we teach, we plant the seeds and lead. Then we pack up and lead the scene. Praise the most high.
What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified. What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified. What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified. What the world gon' do? Until I die, I be magnified. Take a second just to look in the sky. Ever wonder why he brought you this far? You been called by the greatest, you're an Israelite. Time to stand up for what you are. Tell me, brother, what the world gon' do? We should all come together, all in unison. What the world gon' do? Until I die, boy, I be magnified.
How you be magnified? How you be magnified? Don't see nothing but the fake Jews telling lies. Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9, but they don't know the revelation won't be televised. That you can't see the truth like cross eyes. You the type to get cut off, give a fed a lie. But you get this truth, have your mind all mesmerized. I'ma get this truth, highlights like prime time. Oh, it's high time to wake, gotta sleep. Got the blood of the lamb on your door, not a ring. See the day of the Lord gonna come like a thief. See the day of the Lord here, gnashing the teeth. First Peter 4:11, let us speak of the oracles of our highest. That the most high in all things may be glorified through a son, Christ Xiii.
Judah Music Group.
Making pieces available
Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. You hear me now? I can hear you. Yeah. You good? Yeah. I tend to stay to myself. Father, please keep me focused. I was walking astray, no clue where I was going. Had no choice but to move. It's either die or keep growing. I never wanted to shine, but how else I'ma show 'em? Wasn't hard to do it, I just had to make a decision. Am I about my father's business or a slave to religion? We properly sending a self-proclaimed Christian songs, 119 and 100, keeping laws gave me wisdom, yeah. I gotta make it out of this place. Voices telling me to pick up the pace. Yeah, I'm introverted, so I value my space. So you obviously important if I ask you to stay. My mental's like scriptures, they want me to break it down. My thoughts ain't been in them scriptures lately, I'm breaking down. We at the end and I'm feeling I might not make it now. From riches to rags, they still ain't take our crown. Barely on their toes and never on the same. Too busy trying to tell my neighbor that he's Elohim. Yeah. And no disrespect to Dr. King, but he wasn't woke. He said himself he only had a dream. This can really end any moment. I hope you get this cream. The acronym eluded your brain. Captivity remains, endure and maintain. Still a slave to the dollar. Some things never change. I'd rather walk alone before I follow mine. I keep my faith in the Messiah and the Father's plan. Focus on Esau, not the Holy Line. It's above me now, yeah, it's out of my hands. Either you gon' do the work or stay in the stands. I'm fighting for salvation in my boxing stands. Waking up the lost sheep until the flock advance. Look, I like my music with truth. All this is honest as me. I like my women, like my coffee, black and modest as me. Ain't on the path because you possibly be riding with me. They got my people asleep, obviously. Modern day hypocrites and Pharisees. Twerk videos from my queens don't embarrass me. Song of Solomon 1 and 5 when you look at me. Psalms 10 and 8 the reason why Kaepernick took a knee. Ephesians 6 and 12 someone read that script, the book of T. We wrestle not against flesh. Right now we in a big mess. Pimping out a princess. Who are we trying to impress? People don't want to invest. Bugging me like insects. Screw the family like incest. You hurting me. The police paying our communities burgundy. Protecting Satan's agenda, how you serving me? And cash is useless, the proof is in cryptocurrency. That's just gonna keep the fire burning in the wilderness. We should be learning how to plant seeds, building fish. Martial law kicking in, it's almost time to dip. Little advice, stop wearing clothes you can barely fit. I'm still giving out love that I barely get. They think I still sell drugs and it's ignorant. These entertainers keep us asleep, that's how they get rich. They got my people in the dark and we say it's lit. Success is sweet, the aftertaste black licorice. No man can save you, they destroying black businesses. Stripped us of our heritage and our innocence. We starting to wake up now, it's time to finish this. Look. Grateful for the wisdom, I'm in a better position. Feel like just the other day I was whipping up in the kitchen trying to tell the folks the truth, and they think I'm in a religion. Can't force no one's salvation. I pray a higher be with them. I'm gone.
400 years. 400 years. We tired. They got us serving in a strange land, under a strange man, wanna be kings, but we living like slaves, man. Now what's the game plan? Keep the commandments. Say what's the game plan? Keep the commandments. They got us serving in a strange land, under a strange man, wanna be kings, but we living like slaves, man. Now what's the game plan? Keep the commandments. Say what's the game plan? Keep the commandments. You speak of servitude, my people's done had enough. While my ancestors died and suffered through sick stuff. If I told you about the lynching, cop killing, and gay debating how gas genocide is the day that they celebrate. The nerve of this heathen defiling our holy land while we over here fighting and killing our homies, man. It's a crying shame. Babies are dying, mamas are crying. They marching for nothing. Go to the church, preaching, keep lying, telling you nothing about the curses that you under. The only concern is for the decimals and numbers, and everybody wonder why we dropping by the masses, breaking the Shabbat to buy a fit to match your cash, getting ass so drastic. The only thing you hope is when the cops pull you over, you getting stretched like elastic, and death so graphic. You know we in the last days. Murder for a chicken sandwich. Check your Instagram page. We on a rampage, life of destruction. They threw away the laws and the faith is on nothing. But real talk, the only way we make it through this walk is a higher by a shim yashaya wawu wop. A thin line is this yellow brick road. It's either ye be hot or either ye be cold. Moses had to draw the line in the sand. It's keep the commandments or die where you stand. They got us serving in a strange land, under a strange man. Wanna be kings, but we living like slaves, man. Now what's the game plan? Keep the commandments. Say what's the game plan? Keep the commandments. They got us serving in a strange land, under a strange man. Wanna be kings, but we living like slaves, man. Now what's the game plan?
Praise to the Most High.
Say what's the game plan?
Keep the commandments. A higher only requires for us to do good, to seek righteousness as we really should. For many have a zeal, but not according to knowledge, and due to the lack of it, to idols we pay homage. For I bear record that Israel is moved by the smooth things that spew out the mouth of false shepherds. God says honor the seventh, they reverence the first. God says the temple is in us, they believe it's the church. Christ's divinity was recognized by his works, but when you ask the masses, they say it's his birth. Created man in his image, Adam and Eve, but they think it's 3 men in heaven shooting the breeze. Where did you get Easter? Where did you get Christmas? What is the origin of them? Somebody be a witness. If December 25th was really about Christ, then why do so many non-believers attest to his life? We gotta believe in Christ according to the gospel. John 7:38, that scripture is the model, but the model gets changed if men are greedy for gain, like turning from salvation and walking into a brothel, turning from something clean to something lowly esteemed, cause lust is the vice that drops us to our knees, and if we live to be pleased, we can't remain standing. You wanna get up? Keep the commandments.
They got us serving in a strange land, under a strange man. Wanna be kings, but we living like slaves, man. Now what's the game plan?
Keep the commandments.
Say what's the game plan?
Keep the commandments.
They got us serving in a strange land, under a strange man. Wanna be kings, but we living like slaves, man. Now what's the game plan?
Keep the commandments.
Say what's the game plan?
Keep the commandments.
This has to stop. Blasphemy, the way they used to slander I, cause he stacked this guap. But my brother stood 10 toes to the casket drop. Backdoored him, only way they even had a shot. Nah, this ain't no idol worship. This is real life, we gotta keep the name alive. It's real trife, I called John and told him, man, you ain't losing pout, cause he still paid the way for men, he's still doing it now. Example and a testimony. Real life disciples roaming through your residency. Hereditary, the pedigree is legendary. Legend from Simeon to Maryland manifesting. Way before the knowledge, way before the truth. We was always rocking, way before the fire. And we met Messiah, that was where we got in. Yeah, we was locked in. Them Bama's couldn't box, so we had to get the Glocks in, and that's why you never less, cause you ain't never ever shed a sweat, and I shed a tear at your step, cause I couldn't bear to see you stress, but this here is a mess. See your family cry, man, I swear that I must confess. From that day on, I knew that's the day that it'll never be the same, dog. On the grind, long time was the wave, dog. It was rhyme after rhyme that we made, dog. Oh, nah, ready to spark, ready to spray, dog. 200 ready to whack something, I'm ready to whack something. Phil ready to whack something, Michael whacking something. Ego even whacking something, Hyro whacking something. We all whacking something. And as for that little chick, man, we know you ducking. No conversation for no hollers, cause we know you bluffing. And as for that little young boy, they gon' catch you when it's time, it ain't over, young boy. Nah, yeah, if it wasn't for the Lord, young Priya hit your head, leave you done for, yeah. But back to positivity, we gon' bring it to the light and we gon' bring it vividly. We gon' get it in all day, yeah, spiritually. We gon' get it in always, for that ministry, yeah, young Priya, where he been, in the street. I've been on 1,000 blocks, still don't nothing sound as high. Rest in heaven, never less, he done blessed 1,000 eyes. Singing praises round the clock, sins up in our conscious block, yeah. And you already made history, so you ain't gotta try. All glory to the Father. Rest easy, my G. Yeah, nevertheless, gotta keep your name forever fresh. You had them damns express. I remember Sean and Moon, I set the check. Yeah, nevertheless, let the legend rest. Let the legend rest.
Let me take a second, we reflecting. With the life, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, now that's alright. I got the right at birth, the devil's redefining worth. Someday you'll pay the price. No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making though, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue. Guess who's on this instrumental with you? Gives a damn if we was family, view unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist, they slayed the man, I swayed the Tim like here I am, the son of Sam is taking shots at David Berkowitz. Pushing a different discipline existed in this New York state of mind. Say since now, no, not the actor, but the year he's ever not. One thing in mind to grind until this gavel turned his words to mirth from Babel. lines since 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on Gadai bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice, you vouching for the enemy, but look, my father ain't have a father cause of dope, I'm anti-politics. Cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating, smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways and seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vesta dipped in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush. I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't serve another God.
You know that you are. As cold as ice to me. You know that you are.
Same word for salvation is the same word for Yahushua. The same word for deliverance, prosperity, and victory. I'm just trying to abide in his shadows, his energy. He made me in his image. We share the same energy. Look, they say bless the gods, but I say bless the prophets. They really serve y'all. They kept their spirit modest. I know I'm the clay, and the most high the potter. Build me up and make me strong. I cannot do it alone. Need him to stretch out his arms, connected like gripping palms. I'm just trying to lay down in green pastures. Pastors teach for money, call them green pastors. Came out of the world, call it detachment. I was all over the place, had the rematch. I was off the hook, he had the relatch. Now I'm posted like a kickstand. I don't say can't with you, cause I know I can. Facts.
Weeping and waiting, weeping and waiting, weeping and waiting.
All praise to the Most High. Finally woke now. The Bible what I told now. In that water I can flow now. His word is my boat now. Telling people get up on board. It's about to go down. Dwelling in this secret place so I can walk the showdown. Hey, he got plagues in his hand. He about to throw down. Man with this earth, he disgusted with this whole nail. Picture drowning forever. We need to get it together just cause you know who you are. That ain't a ticket to heaven. We gotta walk like Messiah. We gotta talk like Messiah. Hell, I ain't feeling that fire. Please light me up like a lighter to the world, to the Jew, to the Gentile. Every knee should bow, boy, girl, child. We gon' scream it loud, Messiah coming back. So get it right, we in the end times. We got one last fight. You a friend to the world, you an enemy to y'all. And it's time to change your heart. Stop living in the dark, man, for real. My little eyes haven't seen, no ears haven't heard. Need to have it into the hearts of many things that the Most High got for us, man. No more pain, no more weeping. Everlasting life.